Good morning. My name is Casey Faulkner, and today I will be talking about my signature project from the previous course, and the title is The Effects of Teacher Check-ins on Behavior. Before we get started, I wanted to do a little background on myself. I'm currently teaching at Mortimer Jordan High School, and I'm in my 10th year, wrapping up my 10th year at Mortimer Jordan. I teach high school special ed inclusion, and I specifically do math classes. So this project is based around the experience that I've seen, the problems that I've seen at Mortimer Jordan High School, and it is going to be targeting behavior. So we are going to get started. First, we're going to be discussing the effects of the high numbers of discipline referrals in high school. I've seen firsthand that when you have a high number of discipline referrals in high schools, it causes a huge strain on academic success. So, for example, if a student is sent to the office for a discipline referral, they are taken out of the classroom instruction. At my specific school, at Mortimer Jordan High School, in the fall of 2025, we had 327 behavior-related office referrals. And this is school-wide. This is not just ex-ed. This is school-wide. And we will talk about this more later, but briefly, from the data that was pulled, 9th and 10th grade students have higher behavior reports. For the chapter 1 of my research project, it is the research problem. Like I said before, Mortimer Jordan had a high number of behavior-related office referrals. For example, all across the United States, there are many schools who suffer from high numbers of discipline-related office referrals. These may include inappropriate behaviors in class, talking disrespectfully to a teacher, skipping class, the use of an illegal substance in the school building, or fighting. I would say at Mortimer Jordan, our number one office referral issue would probably be disrespect towards the teacher, and then the more severe would be vaping. We classify our behavior-related office referrals by severe. I think it's major, minor, and severe. Severe will send a student to alternative school. Office discipline referrals are increasingly used to monitor behaviors in high school. At Mortimer Jordan, discipline has been and continues to be one of the biggest setbacks. Students are not performing at levels they are capable of due to distractions caused by students behaving inappropriately and students being sent to alternative school. Let's see. According to a current discipline report pulled from the fall of 2025, statistics from fall of 2025 show that 9th grade students had 88 office referrals, 10th grade had 104, 11th had 61, and 12th had 74. So it shows that the data shows that 9th and 10th grade students were more likely to be pulled or to be called to the office for discipline referrals. And this issue goes beyond just discipline. It goes into academics as well. So the statement of the research problem, Mortimer Jordan High School has utilized many different strategies in hopes to reduce the number of behavior-related office referrals. For example, at our school we have a second period detention. This can be for tardies. It can be for after-school detention. We have after-school detention for tardies, for missing assignments. Administration also has implemented incentives for positive behavior, such as bonus exam exemptions, ice cream parties, allowing students to check in and check out, and the ability to graduate early. So the purpose of my study for my signature project was to see if implementing student-teacher check-ins into a second period study hall could reduce the number of behavior-related office referrals. Now, I've created a chart for data to show the high number of behavior-related office referrals in 9th and 10th grade students. So if you look at the chart, It shows that ninth grade students and 10th grade students, their number is significantly higher than 11th and 12th grade. Now, I would relate this to the level of maturity. I see that ninth grade students have a significant lower level of maturity than 11th and 12th grade. Let's see. The impact on student achievement. Students who do not have the desire to follow school and classroom rules often do not put forth much effort into their classroom assessments. Not only does negative behavior affect the student behaving inappropriately, it also affects other students' surrounding behavior. For example, causing disruptions in the classroom. Distractions in the classroom often have a negative impact on student achievement and success. I believe that student teacher check-ins that will cause a positive relationship between a teacher and student. For example, I have a second period study hall, and we implement student teacher check-ins and behavior check-ins weekly. So once a week, I meet with my students, pull their grades, and talk about discipline. The research methodology. This experimental research plan involves creating 6 classes of 9th and 10th grade students at Mortimer Jordan High School. These classes will be during second period study hall and will consist of 20 students each. Each class will be selected at random, but will only include 9th and 10th grade students. Sample technique was selected at random to ensure each class is divided equally and not selected based on behavior. Once divided into 6 classes, each group of students will be placed with a random teacher. Each student will have a brief check-in meeting with the teacher on a daily basis. The teacher will review the student's grades, discuss any difficulties that are taking place with the student, and develop a plan to handle any difficult situation. And as far as confidentiality, no names will be released in this study. It will only be the student's grade and the behavior. So when the data report is pulled at the end of the 9 weeks to check the behaviors and to compare these classes, it will not, all the students' names will be marked out. It will just be the behavior report. These daily check-ins should encourage and motivate students to act appropriately and maintain passing grades in all of their classes. Let's see. So how childhood trauma impacts students. For example, if you have students who have been through abuse, they do not have parents at home that hold them accountable. Best practices for increasing proficiency. Teachers provide a secure environment. Like I said, in their second period class, they create that positive relationship. The PBIS team, positive behavior interventions and support, tiered behavior support, and daily progress cards. Multi-tiered behavior. Tier 1, that includes everyone in the school. It is addressed through school rules and expectations. Tier 2, that is targeted behavior support. For example, if a student has been counted for tardies, this can be, implemented through second period detention. And then Tier 3, excessive intervention, which would be like a behavior intervention plan. The population includes 230 students, which includes the whole 9th and 10th grade. Like I said, it's going to be split into 6 different classes. All the names are going to be pulled at random. 120 students will be included in the research in the project. This will be over a 9-week period. It will include 120 students, 6 study hall classes, 3 classes to participate in student-teacher check-ins, and at the end of the 9 weeks, data report will be pulled, and we will look at the behavior and compare it to before the 9 weeks to see if the student-teacher check-ins helped. And that is it for our ethics and issues. Fairness, they're selected at random. Boundaries and supervision, they will be supervised by teachers, and they will be held accountable for their actions. After the study, if it works, we will keep implementing student-teacher check-ins. And that is all for my project. Thank you very much.